on the internet, but we'll see.
I wonder what's different today about it.
Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News as we get you set for the latest news, insight, and analysis as game time approaches. The BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Check out LithiaFordBoise.com to view the full inventory of vehicles or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now, let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News.
All right, Abe, I think we're live.
Hey,
and
all right,
wow. All right. Can you guys hear us? I hope you can. I apologize for that, but the internet literally went out right when we were starting. I got no idea if you can hear us. You can see us. We're going to give this a shot. They're celebrating on the floor. Florida Atlantic winning a championship. Mickey Mouse is out here on the floor. This is a Mickey Mouse operation, some have said here at BNN. But, Abe, Boise State wanted to be in this game, but they still have a chance here to finish with a high note in the tournament.
Yeah, definitely. It's the position that Boise State has been in the last couple of years as well at tournaments. Last year they went 2-1. The year before that, Charleston, they went 2-1. So they have the opportunity to come to a tournament, which at least when the tournament started, it was the second highest ranked tournament that's being played behind the Maui Classic. So to go 2-1, I think would be a very good outcome for the Broncos.
All right, yeah, Mickey Mouse is out there dancing with the FAU players. They're having a good time. Then they got to clear this court because our game, the game here starts in like 40 minutes. But what do you make of the VCU win? That was obviously a nice win for Boise State, which would have been a slow start to the trip.
Well, I think it actually did a lot for the Broncos other than just get a win. I think you saw a couple Broncos take that step that was needed that you see throughout the year, Roddy Anderson and Andrew Meadow. And when they have a good performance like that, really the first ones of the year for both of them, it kind of says that, okay, I can play at this level. My confidence is there. I can remember as a freshman, I needed one of those games. It took me a few games to really see, like, okay, am I supposed to be out on the court at this Division I level? And you saw that, I think, from Roddy Anderson and Andrew Meadow. And if it's not for Andrew Meadow, who came in when the Broncos, I think, had 4 points about 8.5 minutes into the game, he had a tough drive to the hoop. He had a step-back three-pointer. If it's not for him, I don't know if the Broncos get that win yet, 2 days ago.
I was going to say Andrew Meadow. I was going to ask about him. The dude looked as confident as ever. He hit one shot, and all of a sudden he was ultra aggressive. hadn't had a chance to play a lot this season, but he stepped up big time.
He really did, and he was the energy off the bench that the Broncos needed because you want to talk about aggression when you play. You can be aggressive offensively, you can be aggressive defensively and rebounding, and the Broncos had none of that, any aspect of the game until Andrew Meadow came in. And then everyone kind of started to click together, and they came out with the victory against VCU, who ended up winning today as well.
I got no idea if you can hear me. I hope you can. It's not working on my end, so we'll hopefully it's going good. I think it is, Abe, but this is I don't have the same connection I had last time. We're on Wi-Fi, not Ethernet, so I apologize in advance. But what else has impressed you or has stood out to you in the two games, good or bad, from the tournament here?
Well, the depth of the bench. Well, I think that's going to be the key against VCU. That's what it was, is that you had Max that had 3 fouls in about 6 minutes of play. Omar Stanley had a bunch of fouls, so you had to go and find someone else to step up. And Roddy Anderson and Andrew Meadow did that. And then in the second half, it was kind of the familiar faces. Max ended up getting a few buckets, and Tyson got some buckets. So I think that's what I'm going to be looking for against this Butler team, who is pretty tough. This could be – Virginia Tech was tough, but Butler could be the deepest team that the Broncos face in this tournament.
We'll get to them in a second. I wanted to go back. You mentioned Roddy Anderson. Here's a guy that had a tough start to the season, wanted to come in, make an immediate impact, couldn't do that right away, and missed some shots, ends up losing his spot in the starting lineup. But he comes off the bench yesterday and hit a couple of huge threes. You think that's a nice confidence builder? Maybe get Roddy Anderson going a little bit?
And to his credit, and maybe to his discredit, he was expected to replace Marcus Shaver, right? That's kind of what people were thinking he was going to do. Marcus Shaver, a really, really good point guard, a fifth-year point guard for Boise State, and then a true sophomore comes in, and we expect him to be exactly like Marcus Shaver. And so that's a little bit unfair to Roddy Anderson, that's where the comparisons are. And so he did have a little bit of a slow start, but it's his first year in the program. But the game against VCU, he took some huge steps, not just with his game, but I think in his the mentality, his mental side, thinking that he can play out here. And you can just see his confidence, not just offensively, but there were a couple defensive possessions where he was flying around, double teaming and coming back and closing out and boxing out. So I think he took a big step.
Where's Max Rice at for you? I mean, I talked to Leon. We're going to hear from Leon Rice in a couple minutes, and took a little bit of offense to my question. Obviously, about 4 games in, where Max is at right now, and the point production hasn't been there. Leon says he's still doing a lot of other things to help the team win, but obviously got in foul trouble and was, I don't want to say non-factor, but in the first half didn't do much. Came in and hit a couple of huge shots in the second half against VCU. But overall, we haven't seen that breakout, 4 or 5 game that we know Max Rice is going to have here at some point. It seems like teams are guarding him a little different this year. I mean, what do you make of Max's start?
Well, the numbers kind of speak for themselves right now, but I think that more speaks about the defense that's being played on him and the type of teams Boise State is playing. If they didn't play this tough of a schedule, I guarantee you that Max's numbers would probably be better. But defenses are keying on him now. They know that he can go off for 4 or 5 threes in a game. He can put the ball on the ground and hit the little floater. So he has much more attention right now than he did at any time last year. And we're just at the beginning of this season. So the more that players like Andrew Meadow and Roddy Anderson can step up and score some points, the more that I think that's going to create some space for Max as well. I am definitely not worried about Max at all when it comes to his scoring. If you remember, it was the last year, a couple of years ago, he went on a 1 for 20 streak from 3 or something like that. It wasn't really hitting the shots, but that's how it goes when you're a scorer. Sometimes it'll be there, sometimes it won't. You take a look at the end of the season, I think he's going to have some great numbers.
What do you make, by the way, of instead of a championship hat, they gave all the Florida Atlantic players Mickey Mouse ears?
It's kind of a Disney thing to do, right? That's what you
They're commemorative championship. They don't get a shirt, they get nothing. They get it says champion on the
champion,
special champion Mickey Mouse.
It is a little unique. Yeah, it does say champions on the Mickey Mouse hat.
Now 2-1, 2-1 in this trip, on this tournament, 2-2 on this trip is a lot different feeling than 1-3. I mean, how big would a win be against Butler to finish off this trip strong?
It'd be great. I mean, it kind of kick-started the season last year after a slow start against Charlotte, and then they get a win against Loyola Chicago and then Colorado in that Myrtle Beach Classic, and then they were on a roll. Then they really started winning some games, and I think this will be big because it'll give you a lot of confidence going home for a couple days, and then you got to go back out on the road, to Idaho Falls to play St. Mary's, who at the end of the year could be a top 25 team as well. So it doesn't get any easier with Butler tonight and then St. Mary's in a few days.
What are the keys going to be to beat Butler tonight?
Butler is really deep. They have 8 guys that are averaging 5 points or more. And so anybody can really score double digits for them out of those 8 players. So I think it's going to be handling their depth, because I think they can just keep running extra guys at you. So the bench could be a factor, and also some foul trouble. If Broncos get in foul trouble again with the depth that Butler has, that could be long afternoon for the Broncos. But I like the way they played against VCU, and if they can transfer that over, then I think they can win.
Mickey Mouse is having too much fun here. Need to get him off the court so they can finish the cleanup and we can get this game going. But to Abe, appreciate your time as always, man. It's a big one today. I mean, I know Butler may not have the name or cachet of some teams, but you look at the quality and the computer numbers. I mean, I think a lot of fans are like, oh, it's Butler. They're going to be able to get a win. I mean, this is a even 1-point game at Ken Palm. This is going to be a tough game today, but it'd be a huge finish to the tournament.
Yeah, I think so. And I think we're kind of past like the big names, right? I mean, look at the Final Four last year, San Diego State, FAU. It really is all about the Ken Palm ratings. I mean, that's what gets you into the tournaments, and that's what really says if you're playing a good team or not. So it is nice to have the big names. A lot of times the Ken Palm numbers follow the big names, but sometimes they don't. And this is one of those situations. Of course, everyone's heard of Butler, though.
Yeah.
So they are a very good basketball program.
Well, we'll be hearing Leonard Berry, yourself, 670 KBOI coming up here in about 10 minutes or so. So appreciate your time as always, Abe, and have a good call, man.
Yep,
there he is, Abe Jackson. Again, you'll hear him coming up pretty soon with Leonard Berry on the call. Looking forward to that. And again, I'm going to try to get the Ethernet cord. Don't go anywhere. We're going to hear from Leon Rice. We got a Leon Rice interview coming up. We got a lot of stuff to get to. Get your pregame thoughts in, your pregame comments, your pregame questions. I'm going to go ahead and play a 90-second commercial break and try to get the Ethernet cord from the ESPN radio folks who are out of here and make the signal a little better. So don't go anywhere. Get your comments or questions into that ICCU YouTube chat. Who are you needing to step up today? What do you make of the game? And who's going to Las Vegas for the football game? We're going to talk championship game, Mountain West Championship. Boise State's going. We'll talk about that as well. And you'll hear from Leon Rice. Don't go anywhere. Back in 90 seconds on Bronco Nation News. All Bronco Nation News broadcasts come from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. For all your commercial, industrial, residential painting needs, check out rowpaint.com. Don't forget about their concrete coatings. Transform that ugly concrete slab on your back patio in your garage in just one day. Contact rowpaint.com for a free estimate today. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union's been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. There's an ICCU branch on almost every corner, but the closest is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. CUI more than 500,000 members love ICCU, and join 1 in 4 Idahoans by making the switch today at ICCU.com. Since 1984, Ridley's Family Markets has prided itself on being a hometown food and drug store that employed value members of the local community. Ridley's Family Markets has 13 locations in the state of Idaho and many more in the surrounding states. Download the new Ridley's app to your smartphone. Get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Former Bronco Matt Bauscher is once again the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Let them fulfill all your real estate needs at BauscherRealEstate.com. All right, back live here on the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. We're coming to you from the Cutwater Mobile Studios here at the State Farm Fieldhouse in Orlando, Florida. I am connected to Wi-Fi, so hopefully I look as crystal clear and as beautiful as ever. So appreciate you guys for sticking with us. I apologize at the very beginning of the show there with the internet issues. We had to go to the Wi-Fi while the ESPN radio network was using our feed, and now we are sitting right next to Leonard Berry and Abe Jackson. So I'm actually going to slide down a little bit so you don't hear me on KBOI during their broadcast. So we're going to hear from Leon Rice in a little bit, but big game for Boise State, obviously. We're talking about Butler here. This is a 1-point game at Ken Palm. Ken Palm projects Butler to win by 1 point, so this is going to be a very tough game for Boise State, but if they're able to find a way to win it, man, a 2-2 road trip, this gauntlet of games, you find a way to go 2-2 in this tournament, one of the premier tournaments in America, you find a way to go 2-1. I mean, this is a don't want to say season-changing game, but this is a huge game for this trip and how you feel about the rest of the season moving forward here if they're able to get a win. So this is a massive game for Boise State. Butler is coached by Thad Matta, the old Ohio State coach. They got Greg Oden on their staff. I was sitting next to him during the post-game show the other day. They were sitting right next to me scouting Boise State after they had won. So, this is obviously a big game for Boise State for a lot of reasons. And I mentioned football talk. As Butler takes the court here, you're going to see them walking by momentarily. We'll go ahead and switch the camera for you. The Butler Bulldogs taking the floor. They have kicked out all the fans. They are going to let the fans back in, but it is a new ticket required for this game. So it's going to be kind of a tight turnaround. There is a new ticket required for this game. So the fans are exiting, and then they're going to let them back in here shortly. By the way, they have a cool thing here, which I haven't seen anywhere else before. You buy a beer, and then you can keep it's a commemorative collector's cup, and the refill is like $5 cheaper. I think I saw it was $12.75 for a beer, and then your refills are only $7.75, and you get to keep the commemorative cup. I never get to partake in a beverage like that while I'm at these games because I'm working. But if I were a fan and you pay for one beer and the rest of them are discounted, that's a pretty good deal. So Boise State, as you see, taking the court. In the background there, they will be in the white home uniforms tonight. Boise State going with the white home uniforms. They will be the designated home team on the scoreboard, and they'll be in the bench right across from us here courtside at the State Farm Fieldhouse. Again, Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor on the pregame show. We appreciate Lithia Ford of Boise. Make sure you check them out next time you are looking for a vehicle. LithiaFordBoise.com has your full inventory of vehicles, and they'll be able to hook you up with a great deal on a great vehicle at LithiaFordBoise.com. Melinda feels a big dunk coming from Omar. Look at Greg, so inspirational. Yeah, there he is right there on the left of the screen. That's Greg Oden right there on the far left of the screen. He works on the staff for Butler, and now he's doing things at Butler, so good for him. His former coach, Thad Matta at Ohio State, has him back on staff now. So you see Boise State at the far end of the court, warming up. And how about the news of the day? The Boise State football team gets into the championship game. Who's heading to Vegas? We're going to look tomorrow and see if there's any interest in a motor coach, a private coach to take a busload of people down. I had some people reach out asking about that. We will see what we can do if there's enough interest and what that would cost. I'm not opposed to trying to help set that up because I know flights are super expensive to get down to Vegas. But we'll see if we can make that happen, and I'll have more details tomorrow. But if you would be willing to purchase a ticket, I have no idea how much it would cost. I'm guessing maybe $150, maybe $200, I don't know, for a round trip on the bus and try to have some coolers with some drinks maybe on the bus down to Vegas. If you're wanting to go and drive to Vegas and willing to pay, reach out to me via email, and I'll see if we can figure something out. I can't call the company on a Sunday, so I'll call them tomorrow and see if there's enough people interested in splitting a motor coach. I wouldn't be opposed to helping set that up, and B&N could pay for it, and everybody could pay back. So I don't know. I literally have no idea how much a motor coach would cost round trip. And obviously probably go down Friday, leave probably at 9 a.m. or something, drive all day Friday, and then probably stay after the game and head back Sunday. You'd be on your own for hotel and meals and tickets to the game and everything else. It would literally just drive you down and drive you back. But if you're interested, send me an email, rains@bronconationnews.com, and we'll see what we can make happen in terms of a price and if folks are interested in going down. Tickets to the game are only $20, so if you can find cheap hotel, ride down with other Boise State fans, maybe we can pull something off. We'll see. So my wife says got to get some Cutwaters on that bus. Most definitely, I will talk to Cutwater Spirits and see if we can pull something off for that. Most definitely, do we need some Cutwaters for the bus ride down to Las Vegas, and then hopefully the bus ride home if Boise State can pull it off. Boise State at UNLV. There was some suspense with the computer rankings. The type ranking scenario, I think, is outdated and needs some updating, but at least for right now. Nate's asking about a Circa discount. Unfortunately, Circa Resort and Casino might be sold out. My understanding is the Friday night at Circa may already be sold out, so that may cause some problems. We are trying to organize a watch party, though, at Circa. Friday night at Circa. If you're going down anyway, make sure you plan to join us Friday night to watch the basketball team play against St. Mary's. I'll be missing the game. Got to get down for the press conferences and stuff. And Circa Resort and Casino is going to put the Boise State-St. Mary's game on the big screen for us. in the sports book, and we'll get a big group together at the bar and watch the game. So regardless of where you're staying, if you're going to be in Vegas Friday night, make plans to come to Circa Resort and Casino for the 7:30 Pacific time start. Boise State, St. Mary's. It'll be on the big screen, I believe, or at least the TVs in the bar. We'll have a little private party and try to get some drink specials and meet other Boise State fans and watch the game together. So looking forward to that. So if you are going to Vegas, more details to come, hopefully by tomorrow morning or Tuesday. But make plans to join us for the basketball game Friday night. Watch party for BNN fans at Circa Resort and Casino. And if you're a paying subscriber, I may even buy your first drink. How about that? I will say that right now. If you're a paying subscriber and you show up on Friday night to watch the Boise State-St. Mary's game, your first beverage is on BNN. How about that? I know the Pac-12 championship's going on Friday night. A lot of the hotels are already filling up because of that, Nate says. So you may have to, pay a little more than usual for a hotel, unfortunately, or maybe even stay off the strip at a regular hotel in the suburbs. But if you are making the trip, we'd love to see you for our watch party. And if you're a subscriber, your first drink's on us. How about that? I just thought about that on the fly, but let's have some fun and hang out. And I'm looking forward to it. And again, if you're interested in the transportation, joining a motor coach bus and heading down there on Friday and coming back on Sunday, reach out to me, Rains at BroncoNationNews.com, and I'll look into that tomorrow to see what the price would be from Caldwell Transportation or something. But I figured Boise State was going to do it, but it's official now. The computer rankings, there was a little drama there, but it is official. Boise State UNLV in the championship game, and I'm excited for it. I think the championship game is fun. You got the basketball game Friday night, football game Saturday, and Spencer Danielson trying to become the first interim head coach in the history of college football. Again, the first interim head coach in the history of college football to win a conference championship game as an interim head coach. The only other time a coach even got to the championship game was Clay Helton in 2015 with USC, but they lost that game to Stanford. So Boise State trying to become the first team with an interim coach to win a conference championship, and Spencer Danielson would be that first interim coach to do that. You see Boise State warming up on the far end of the court in the white jerseys. Butler's going to be in the navy blue. The fans have been kicked out. A new ticket is required for this session, and they'll be letting them back in here shortly. My wife will be one of the participants. Heck, she's probably taking advantage of the keep your cup and get $5 off your next beer deal as well, if knowing her. So it's going to be a nice atmosphere here. I'll be curious what the crowd is. A lot of fans did get kicked out and let back in. Don't think it'll be a huge crowd. I don't think Butler brought a ton of people, and Boise State's got a couple hundred, but not a massive following themselves in this tournament. But it's a fun time to be a Boise State fan right now, and I'm excited to see what happens in this game and in the conference championship game next week as well. So there's a lot of fun cost of the lower center level. It's like general admission, so I think you can get a ticket for like $30 and just go sit wherever you want, Billy. The cheapest ticket's like $30 or $35, and you can sit wherever you want. So if you're in the area, come on down. Let's see. Driving up from Scottsdale as well. See y'all at the game. Well, if you guys come on Friday, he's driving up from Phoenix. If you make it on Friday, come join us at Circa Resort and Casino. We'll try to get some final details and make an announcement on that. But I think that'd be fun to get a group of people together and watch the St. Mary's Boise State game. Yours truly will be able to watch the Boise State game and have a beverage. How about that? That doesn't happen very often. But if I'm not covering the game, I will be able to hang out with you guys and have a few beverages and watch the game and talk BSU and get ready for the game on Saturday. So even if you're staying somewhere else, make plans to join us at Circa Resort and Casino on Friday night at 7:30 for the Boise State St. Mary's basketball game. I agree with this, Skyship. They're making me pay taxes, I believe, on my next return for all the times we've been in Vegas. The crazy thing is my family already had a trip to Vegas planned because these St. Louis Blues, as most of you know, that me and my family are big fans of, the St. Louis Blues are playing the Las Vegas Golden Knights on Monday, 2 days after the conference championship, and I already made plans to take my kids down to the game. So the family is going to come a day earlier now, and they'll be at the conference championship game, and then we'll stay in Las Vegas and go see the Blues and the Golden Knights on Monday. So we're in a whirlwind trips right now, being down here in Orlando and now going back for a couple of days and then turning around on Thursday and going right back to Vegas. So there was an Allegiant Airlines flight, or there is an Allegiant Airlines flight out of Idaho Falls on Friday night, but unfortunately basketball game doesn't start till 8:30, and the flight leaves at 10:30. So if it had been a 6 or 6:30 game, could have tried to make the St. Mary's game and make that happen. But I just don't think it's going to be possible right now to get to Las Vegas in time. And they do have press conferences and things on Friday that we'll get there for, and BNN will be able to air those as well. Hopefully live stream the press conferences Friday with both head coaches and players as well on Friday afternoon. But again, Boise State football, who would have thought it? Spencer Danielson. I mean, Eric McAllister transfers. One of the reasons he said he transferred is because he came here to win a Mountain West title, and that hadn't happened yet. And here's Boise State playing for a Mountain West title without Eric McAllister and without Andy Avalos. And it's funny, they obviously had some sort of issue between the two, and both of them are now gone. And here's Boise State on a 3-game winning streak. They've won 2 games under Spencer Danielson, and here they are in the championship. And I mean, let's be honest a little bit. Spencer Danielson's got a bit lucky here. Needed Air Force to lose to Hawaii. Needed New Mexico to beat Fresno State. I mean, he's been a little fortunate. He's got 2 wins over UNLV, over Air Force and Utah State, and now here he is in the championship game. So there's no doubt that Spencer Danielson has been a little fortunate with all this, but it is what it is, and they're in the championship game, and Spencer Danielson has a chance to hoist up a Mountain West championship trophy with confetti falling. And I mean, at this point, is anybody betting against BSU? I mean, the spread was only 3.5 for BSU. I think, I don't care who Boise State's playing, I don't see them losing this game. I mean, I think Boise State's going to win this game, and kind of how I felt against here comes the ball. Oh, I was all ready for it. The wild pass there. But I don't think Boise State's losing the football game. I don't see any way. You know, on that turf, man, you think about an indoor turf, I think Boise State could run for 250 yards in that game. I think Boise State has a chance to have a massive game on the ground in this one. And I think Boise State has a really strong chance of winning. So looking forward to that. And that we'll have coverage all week at BroncoNationNews.com. But obviously, we're here at the ESPN Events Invitational at the State Farm Fieldhouse. They are now letting fans back into the arena. 17 minutes till tip, and fans are pouring back into the arena. So we'll see what the size ends up being for the crowd. Looks like a nice crowd for Butler, actually. Maybe more than I had expected here. So we'll see what happens here. I do want to hear from Leon Rice, Boise State's head coach. We talked to Leon Rice earlier today. He was kind enough to give me an interview on a game day, but I first need to air our second commercial break. So quick 90-second commercial break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll hear from Leon Rice next on Bronco Nation News.
Bronco Nation News is sponsored by Tommy Alquist and Ball Ventures Alquist, Idaho's premier commercial real estate development company. BVA projects specialize in office, retail, flex, medical, and industrial spaces located at some of the most strategic and visible locations in the valley. Need a developer? Looking for new space? Think BVA. At BVA, we are Idaho's developer. The Nicolason family and SON management have proudly been operating Taco Bell restaurants in and around the Treasure Valley since 1969. One of the first to make a 7-figure donation to the Lyle Smith Society, they've also stepped up their support of Boise State athletics with the Taco Bell men's and women's basketball endowed scholarships. The Nicolason family and SON management have committed at least $310,000 by 2026. Get more information on their financial support of Boise State athletics and find information on applying to work at Taco Bell at TacoBellWorks.com. Lithia Ford of Boise is a proud supporter of Boise State athletics and the official car and truck of the Broncos. Lithia Ford of Boise supports Bronco student athletes through NIL deals, including providing Ford vehicles to Taylon Green and Riley Smith from the football team and Paige Barsh from the volleyball team. Rain's family purchased our F-150 from Lithia Ford. Couldn't be happier with the purchase. Check out the all-electric F-150 Lightning or the electric Mustang Mach-E at Lithia Ford, and make sure to check out their full inventory of vehicles at LithiaFordBoise.com. The Blue and Orange Store is the perfect spot to get all your gear for your next Bronco game. The Blue and Orange Store has official Nike apparel, including jerseys, shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, and more. Wear what the Broncos wear and get it at the Blue and Orange Store, the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall, or get free shipping on a $40 order online at theblueandorangestore.com.
Back here live on the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. Let's hear from Leon Rice, Boise State's head coach. Met with me earlier this morning talking about this tournament and playing Butler. Let's hear from Coach Rice.
I think the day off really helped us. We could kind of get our legs back under us and get our bearings. And, we had a lot of good film work, not much physical work because like I said, the 11-day grind of what we've been through. But I thought the guys approached it terrifically, and we're excited to play a really, really good Butler team.
What did you like about the VCU win looking back at it?
After, when you watch the film, VCU's good. I think it was a really solid win, and it wasn't the prettiest of wins, but it showed me something about our team just trying to find a way. And, we got it done on that last defensive stop. So to win a game with a defensive stop, that's a feather in their cap.
I know we talked about it after the game, but just to see some other guys get contributing, Andrew, and what is that? How does that bode well down as you move forward here?
Yeah, it's important. It's important for the team, and like I've been saying, it's an experiment, and we're trying to figure out who can do what in what situations. And by playing a lot of good quality opponents in a short period of time, you're getting a lot of data, and that helps you. And it got us through foul trouble. It got us through guys being fatigued, and and it gets me trusting these guys even more. So, it makes it when I reach down in to go get a sub, I have an idea what we're getting.
A guy like Roddy, comes here, wants to impress right away and fit in. And it was a little bit of a slow start for him. You make the change in the starting lineup, and for him to kind of respond with a couple of huge threes like that, just what does that say about him?
And it wasn't just his threes. You don't always judge performance on made shots because those numbers end up being right at the end of the year if you're taking good shots. And so he did a lot of other really, really good things. He made others better, which you need your point guard to do. And I thought he handled their pressure pretty darn good.
What in terms of just one big one today, and obviously two and two road trip would feel a lot different, than going here 1-3.
No doubt. And like I said, these quality opponents, you got to play great. And I think our guys are juiced, ready to go, and we want to just go out and let the fur fly.
What have you learned about this team, maybe on this trip or these last 2 weeks, or since the season started, as you start to get some games under your belt here?
Well, there's a lot of things that you thought, and that they do respond. Like you just said, Roddy, he faced some adversity, he responded. Omar didn't play a very good first half, he responded, and on and on. Jace did a great job. And then you talked about Andrew coming off the bench and doing a great job responding. So the character of these guys, that they don't let the circumstances dictate, everything's not perfect, I can't go play good, and they just go find a way.
I know you know Max better than anybody on this team, or fans, or anybody, and obviously with the foul trouble in the last game, and just the first couple of games maybe not having the huge game that fans are accustomed to him having. I know he's close, but how's he dealing, I guess, with the start to the season for him?
He's doing great. He does a lot of other things other than winning. He hasn't shot the ball like we know he can, but he's doing great.
And I guess final thing, what are your thoughts on Butler?
Really, really good team. So well coached, talented. They brought in an influx of lots and lots of transfers, and they got some great players. So they're coming together as a group, and they've had some terrific games so far.
Well, there he is, Leon Rice. We appreciate him for joining us on the pregame show. He did not have to do that, but was nice enough on a game day to meet up this morning over at the hotel and do a short interview. So we appreciate Coach Rice for his time. As you can see, the fans are filing in here. 11 minutes, 53 seconds and counting on the clock. Boise State at the far end of the court in their home white uniforms. Butler will be the designated visiting team in the dark blue uniforms today for this one. Again, big game for Boise State. I think 2-2 on this road trip is so much better than 1-3. It's an all-day travel day. I got to do it myself tomorrow with my family, and it is not going to. I'm not looking forward to that. Flying all the way back from Florida with a 6 and 8 year old. But for this team, it's a long travel day. You got they're flying commercial tomorrow, so they got layovers, and the feeling will just be so much better for this team if they can get a win today against Butler and be 2-2 as opposed to 1-3 on this trip. And again, one of the premier tournaments in all of college basketball in the preseason. If you find a way to win this game and go 2-1 in this tournament, it'll just be a incredible way to end this tournament. And I know there was some folks discouraged after the Clemson and Penn State Virginia Tech results, but if you're able to beat VCU and beat Butler and get a couple top 100 wins under your belt, I think it could be huge for Boise State moving forward. That St. Mary's game is obviously going to be huge as well in Idaho Falls, but I think that it's a nice opportunity here for Boise State. Sky says Meadow is going to go up. Maybe Omar has experience. He does. He played against them when I was sitting next to the coaches. They remembered him from last year when he was at St. John's, being in the Big East there. Remember, Butler's now in the Big East. So, there definitely is some familiarity there. I heard a couple of the coaches saying See number 1 there. Remember him? He was number 4 for St. John's. So, yeah, they remembered him. No doubt about it. There were some folks wondering about Gus Johnson. No, they've already announced the broadcast team. It's Jason Benetti, Brock Heward, and Allison Williams on the call for the football game, by the way, next Saturday. It's like the number 2 or 3 team for Fox. I think it's the 3 team. It's Jason Benetti, Brock Heward, and Allison Williams on the sidelines. So that is the announcing team. It's not going to be Gus Johnson, unfortunately. Do have the Pac-12 championship game Friday night, the Big Ten game on Saturday. Nate says, I was one of those downers after Clemson and Virginia Tech. Finished strong today. Will shut me up. Butler is not Clemson, but it's also not a road game. It's neutral side. I mean, I get it, but it's a big opportunity for Boise State today. And again, you look at the KenPom numbers for this matchup as Boise State exits the floor for the final time as we get ready for a tip-off here. But you look at the KenPom numbers, Butler's 70 and Boise State's 75. I mean, this is a KenPom team that is ranked higher than you, number 70 at KenPom. This is a huge opportunity for Boise State. Clemson was 46. Virginia Tech is 49. I mean, that's 2 top 50 teams you lost to right now. So you got to win over San Francisco, who's ranked 79th, and you got to win over Butler, VCU, who's 92nd. So you're 2-2 in top 100 KenPom games right now. You win this game against Butler, who's number 70, and all of a sudden you're 3-2, and you already have 3 top 100 wins. I mean, that's a really good start to the season. So this is a big game for Boise State for a lot of reasons. And then you got St. Mary's, number 58 on Friday, and then North Texas. A lot of people poo-pooing North Texas, the next home game on December 5th. They're ranked 74th, a top 75 KenPom team coming into they're actually ranked higher than San Francisco right now. So huge opportunity with some games coming up here. I mean, North Texas has a really nice number right now. And so I think this is certainly going to be an interesting stretch here, an important stretch for Boise State. If you can find a way to win this game and find a way to win the St. Mary's game, I think you're going to be in a really, really nice spot moving forward. But I'm looking at the other side of the court over here. Let's see if I can pan the camera and show some of the Boise State fans behind the bench. But there's a nice little group of Boise State fans. I see a lot of players' parents that are here. I see the Degenhardt family. I see Jace Whiting's father. I see the Cam Martin's family and Cam Martin's girlfriend. I see Karen Rains there waving over there in the middle of the court wearing the BNN shirt today. So hopefully she'll get on TV and get us some more advertising for BNN today. But, we see the great Karen Rains sitting over there. We see Robin Rice. We see all kinds of parents and family members that are all smiling and waving because some of them must be watching. So going to be a fun game today, fun atmosphere, and pretty cool to see all the parents and family members that made the trip. And there's the Keene family. I see Mrs. Keene talking to Mrs. Degenhardt over there. So nice to see all the families here. Nate says gauntlet of a schedule. North Texas will be a good game. Good crew. Felt good to beat Ryan Odom and Max Schugel in different uniforms. Yeah, kind of did. My wife says can confirm the beer refill discount is alive and well today. Problem is they changed the color of the cup. She tried to bring the cup from the previous game and they wouldn't take it, so she had to pay full price for the first one. But good to know now that she's figured it out here. But let's see. I hope he is. He says they should let McAllister back for the team for the championship and bury the hatchet. Logan Byler summing up what my thoughts exactly. Heck no, says Logan. So no, I don't think that's going to happen. But I think at this point, you got all you need from the wide receiver position. But I don't think they're going to need to pass the ball a ton, to be honest with you. I think you got a chance to run against UNLV. Is this the game we get Ashton Genty, George Shalani, and Taylon Green all over 100 yards rushing? Can we get 300-yard rushers in the same game? By the way, I see the Carringer family over there. They're BNN sponsors and subscribers. We appreciate Mark Carringer and his wife. They play in the golf tournament, and they always do some things. And so I love the vest he's got there, the old school Boise State vest. So there's Mark Carringer and some of our other BNN subscribers here, so appreciate them. Trent Whiting, absolute baller at BYU, by the way. Yes, he was. So we're excited for this one. We got about 5 minutes on the clock until tip-off. We'll take our final timeout. We appreciate everybody for joining us, but we'll get some final thoughts and predictions. Who is your Matt Bowsher player of the game? Who are you expecting to win this thing for Boise State? How are you feeling about this game? We'll take our final timeout. Be back in 90 seconds. Don't go anywhere here on Bronco Nation News.
You looking for a new job? Well, how about getting into the trucking industry? Our friends at Transportation Compliance Service can help you every step of the way, whether it's the big rig on your screen, the Amazon truck in your neighborhood, all the paperwork, all the things you need. Let them help you out. Transcomservice.com. They'll have you out there towing that first load in no time. Transcomservice.com. United Commercial Insurance makes business insurance easy. They can write business policy insurance in 44 states around the country. UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. Give them a call, 229-8222. Bronco Nation News, a proud client of United Commercial Insurance. We highly recommend you do as well at UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. The Raines family is happy to have made the switch to Boise Dentistry Co. Highly recommend you do as well. Dr. Miner and his staff, full family dentistry for the whole family. They make it an enjoyable experience to go to the dentist, and we highly recommend you check them out. 5 locations in the Treasure Valley. You may think you're happy with your dentist. You'll be even happier if you make the switch to Dr. Miner and Company. Check them out online, BoiseDentistryCo.com. The pounds continue to fall off, and it's thanks to Dave and our friends over at Lean Feast. Check them out, leanfeast.com/Meridian. Full customizable meal prep. You want to go into the store, pick out your meals individually. That's great. It's right there on Eagle Road in Meridian. Or you can do it all online at leanfeast.com/Meridian, and they'll deliver it to you. 208-487-5782. They're feeding the football team, the basketball team, Taylon Green, Ashton Genty, Tyson Degenhart, and more. Check them out. Lean Feast, leanfeast.com/Meridian. Still time to get that fall round of golf in, and you need to do it at Timberstone Golf Course out in Caldwell. Book a tee time at playtimberstone.com. The best greens in the valley, new technology, new golf carts, friendly environment, fun, challenging course. Check them out, Timberstone Golf Course. Book your tee time today, and I'll see you out there. PlayTimberstone.com.
Back here live, look, the teams have returned to the floor as we get you set for Boise State and Butler. This game, I believe, is on ESPN2. Prime time afternoon ESPN2 action for Boise State. I know you got football on, but you got some big-time basketball on as well. Again, Butler is ranked higher than the Broncos in the KenPom ranking, so this would be a nice win for Boise State if they could get it. They're projected to lose by 1 point at KenPom, so we will see. But we've got some Kurt Blake going with Max Rice. Buzo is the player of the game from Creamy Cold Boise. We got Holly taking Cam Martin for our Boucher Real Estate player of the game. Omar Stanley going up against the former Big East foe here is Nate Staley's prediction. So Boucher Real Estate, the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home too big or too small for Matt and his team. You can check them out at BoucherRealEstate.com. All your real estate needs, whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, please support Matt Boucher and Boucher Real Estate, one of our great sponsors at Bronco Nation News. Leon Rice, the coaching staff, they have taken the floor. They are currently shaking hands with the coaching staff of the Butler Bulldogs. Going to be a fun atmosphere. Appreciate all you guys for checking us out. We're in no rush on the post-game show as well, so it's going to be a nice earlier post-game show. We'll have Coach Rice. We'll have some players live. We hope you'll join us on the post-game show, and if you're able to subscribe and help us out, $50 for a full year, BNN50 deal is the promo code you see at the bottom of the screen. BNN50 deal is that promo code. Kareem the Dream with a late entry. RJ Keene with 10 points today. So there you go. He's got RJ Keene as his player of the game. The Keene family is here. They would love to see that. And we'll see what happens. But appreciate you guys for checking us out. Go subscribe if you can. BNN50 deal. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We need about 130 more. Help us get to our big goal that when we started this thing of 1,000 paying subscribers, we're about 130 short. BNN50 deal. It's just $50 and it gets you a full year. Mike Prater? Yeah, Mike Prater is going to have a column this afternoon. You know you want to read that. You got to be a paying subscriber to read Mike Prater's column later today at BroncoNationNews.com. My recap of this game, my recap of the tournament, all that's going to be subscriber only at BroncoNationNews.com. And as you heard, if you join us at Circa on Friday and you're paying a subscriber and you watch the St. Mary's Boise State basketball game with us at Circa on the big screen in the sports book, your first beverage is on BNN. So hopefully you can subscribe if you can and join us on Friday at Circa Resort and Casino. I may put a little RSVP thing together so we can get an idea of how many folks we're going to have, and so we have a good idea for drinks and things. But appreciate Melinda Draper, Kareem, Kurt, Sky, Holly, all you guys. Nate, looking forward to a great game, a great week, getting ready for the championship. Big game for Boise State right here. The Broncos, again, getting ready for the starting lineup. So we're going to jump off of here. And don't forget the post-game show. Watch the game, and then about 5 minutes, we'll fire it up pretty quick when that game ends. We'll be back on the post-game show. Live interviews, Coach Rice and players, live reactions, all coming up on the Lithia Florida Boise postgame show. Again, we're in the Cutwater Studios. More than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Perfect for your next game day tailgate and perfect right now to watch some Boise State basketball on a Sunday afternoon. Enjoy the game and come on back on the postgame show and hear from Coach Rice and some players. We break it all down. Go subscribe while you're watching the game. We hope you enjoy it, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Big one for Boise State and Butler getting ready to tip over on ESPN2. We'll talk to you soon. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.